Real quick video on my radiant floor heating. In a previous video, I showed how we did all the floor. So right now I'm going to get ready to finish up the rest of the radiant floor heating. I just thought I'd discuss it with you, exactly what my process was. First, I had some guys come in and I graded this thing out because there was no way I was going to grade it myself. And then I went ahead and laid all this Formular 250, which has got an R value of 10, for insulation on the floor since we get a lot of freezes up here. After the foam was laid, I sealed all the joints with Tyvek tape. I was told that up here having a vapor barrier with Visqueen is not really necessary, so I went with that. Once that was all laid out, I created this manifold, which I went up through some 3/4 inch electrical conduit sweeps. After I got the manifold laid out, I went ahead and I marked 1 foot increments for the layout of the tubing. And I'm using 1/2 inch tubing, no more than 300 foot per run. Once you get it all laid out, then you have to calculate which way you're gonna go and how many different zones you're gonna have. And it's important to do some good calculations to make sure that wherever your loop is, that you come back, that you'll have enough and not too much, so you don't have to waste a lot of pipe. Rigged up some connections to put a pressure gauge on there and fill it with air so I could tell if there was any leaks when they were pouring the slab. Slab on radiant floor heating has got to be 5 inches so you can maybe fasten stuff down and not take a chance of damaging any of your tubing. Saw cuts are the way to go. Now I put the floor in thinking that eventually down the line I would put the heat in, but it became more of a priority as it got colder and colder. The floor is really just a small part of the whole system, even though it's the largest part. The heart of the system is all this right here. I have 8 different loops, all connected with this one manifold, and there's only one zone. I consider there to be 4 parts to the whole radiant floor heating system. This manifold here, this manifold here, boiler here, and the floor. This is my Noritz boiler. It has a total max capacity of 199,000 BTU or 196, right around there, but it can work at a much lower level as well. It kind of depends on the gas input and the amount of BTUs that you're using. It's also an on-demand water heater for any hot water that I would need within the shop. Now, I'm not getting sponsored by anybody, but I did get this at supplyhouse.com. They treat me real well. Exchanges are easy and they're real good to deal with. And the price was pretty reasonable. This is the manifold system that connects all 8 loops together. I got this at supplyhouse.com as well. What's nice about these is that you can control the flow of each different loop, because you might have one loop that's a little longer than the other or one that's a little shorter. So there might be some differences in flow that you can adjust right here. First thought was to fill this with just normal water, but after talking with the plumber friend, I thought it was best in cheap insurance to go ahead and fill this with a glycol mixture. Therefore, we filled this with a 1/3 or a 33% solution of water to glycol, and it's easy to put in. You get yourself a pump, a little sump pump, and some double females and some garden hose, and make up your own connections, and you just pump this in here, and you have the other end coming out into a bucket of water, and as you pump the fluid into here, you'll see it bubbling. When it quits bubbling, this is full. So this is kind of the heart manifold of all the connections. Originally, I was going to part this all out myself, and there's a lot of parts to this thing. You've got the relay, you've got the pump, you've got the air separator, you got the bladder, you got the backflows. There's just a lot of stuff involved with it. Did a little more research, found these all online, and they make this whole system all one piece. I actually got this at Home Depot. I just ordered it online, and it was as reasonable as anybody out there. What's nice about this is all comes together in one piece. You screw it onto the wall and you connect it to the boiler and to the manifold, and you're good to go. Total cost on this is like $2,200 for this right here. This was about $300 for this manifold, and the boiler was about, I want to say 25, 26. All in all, I think the whole system cost me like 6, 7 grand, which isn't cheap, but it would have cost a boatload to have someone put this in for me. The whole thing is controlled by this thermostat, an AZL D508F, and it works great. You can do this ambient temperature, you can do it floor temperature, or you can do it a combination of both. I run it in combination, and you can set the max values or temperatures that you want in the slab, the minimum values. So I keep the minimum value just above freezing, so nothing ever freezes in the shop. So I consider myself to be just above average handy when it comes to doing this stuff. So it wasn't really much of a problem putting all this stuff together. I just used the instruction manuals that came with everything, thermostat, the boiler, and all went together really well. Nice little short video on my radiant floor heating. So be sure to subscribe, hit that icon right here, watch these videos, hit the notification button so that you don't miss any on our videos, get our views up, and we'll see you on the next one.